everyone, and welcome to the Monster Report, a show highlighting those entertaining creatures of film history. I'm your host, Nick Adam, and I'm so happy to have you here today and joining us on the Monster Report live. So thank you for joining us. The Monster Report's a show highlighting those entertaining creatures of film history, like I said. So before I bring in my guests, I want to make sure that I let everyone know that we've got merch for the Monster Report. If it shows up, it's a green screen, so of course it's not. It's going to look like it's see-through. That's kind of cool. It's like I got a hole in the shirt, but it's not a moth problem, not Mothra here. That is actually text, says the Monster Report. So I've got the link in the description if you want to be a supporter of the Monster Report. Check that out in that link. And it is a exciting time to be a kaiju fan right now, because this is Godzilla month 2022, November, 68 years of destruction for Godzilla. And so there's been lots of announcements coming out about a new film. There's been new toys, new figures, and short films. We're going to get into all of that. And of course, we also had the announcement for the other big G. That would be Gamera, the big giant fire-breathing UFO style turtle that we love. And so I definitely want to get into this conversation. Make sure you join in on the chat. And we also have super chats here. So if you want to leave us a tip, that'd be awesome. So let's bring in our guests. We have Adrian, Godzilla Train 1090. How you doing, Adrian?
Doing great, Nick. How you doing? What's up, Kaiju family?
Yeah, it's good to have you. And we have the Donald or Donzilla from SCI-FI NERDZ. How you doing, Donald?
I'm doing pretty good, Nick. How you doing, brother?
Excellent. It is cold where I am, very cold and snowy. So I envy these gentlemen who are further south, and it's much warmer. Adrian was telling me, he was like, oh, it's so cold, it's in the 50s or something. And I'm like, oh, man.
Yeah, it's in the 50s down here, so it'll be high 50s tomorrow.
Oh my goodness, I don't want to hear it. We were below freezing. Things are frozen up here in Indiana. Bobby Reynolds, good to have you in the chat.
Bobby!
James Jackson. Yeah, good to have you guys. And so we'll get into this. So all kinds of announcements coming out for Godzilla Day and this Godzilla month. It's been a lot of fun. And so if there was anything that you had to say is that the top of your list that really gets you excited, gentlemen, we'll get into the details as we go along, but what release or what announcement is probably your most earth shattering to you? Donald, why don't you go first?
Man, okay, so it's really tough because Gamera has been missing for so long, right? We've had the Monsterverse, or we've had short films, and it seemed like he's been missing in all of the monster fun, and we haven't seen him. So I really do want to go with Gamera, but I would have to shift my focus to Godzilla, because Toho seems like they're bringing the project back with him, and so I am really, really curious about that. So if I had to pick one, I couldn't, so I have to pick those two. I know it's a cop-out, but I mean, I love Gamera too, so I would have to go with both of those. The Godzilla Toho film announcement and the Gamera Netflix series.
All right, awesome. And as far as I do understand that I have an echo. I'm going to see if I can't work on that while Adrian talks about what was his favorite announcement lately. Adrian, take it.
So, Donald, I'm sorry, I'm not going to cop out, but honestly, as much as I am excited to see the new Godzilla film coming out, I'm going to have to say Gamera. Gamera's been gone for so long. I want to say almost 20. I think it's been 20 years since we got a new Gamera movie. Something close to that. I can't remember when Gamera the Brave came out, but I know it's getting pretty close to him being non-existent for 20 years. And the fact that we're even getting a Gamera again is finally after all this time. Gamera is my second favorite kaiju behind Godzilla. Mm-hmm. And even though I am excited for the new film coming out, I'm ready for Gamera to come out. So that's definitely more excited about the new Gamera coming out.
All right, awesome. Let's see if I can't figure out what's going on with this echo. Sorry about that, everyone that's out there. I don't know, is that any better or is it still present?
I can hear you perfectly fine.
Okay, good. Adrian, am I still echoing a little bit?
A little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah, and let us know in the chat. Sometimes it's weird, when you get these things happening out here like this on the StreamYard platform. I do kind of hear a little bit of an echo too. So we'll see what we can get through, and definitely leave us a comment as we're going along with this. Thomas Lee, good to have you.
Thomas, how you doing, brother?
Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, we are going to get started with this epic announcement that was just kind of like, oh, really? There's going to be this, 2024, I guess I'm jumping ahead a little bit, 2024 sequel to Godzilla vs. Kong. We all kind of had our speculations out there. Maybe it was going to be Son of Kong, still possibly could be. We don't know enough about it, but it's like, oh, epic. We're going to find out the new name, the name to the sequel of Godzilla vs. Kong, and it's Godzilla and Kong. Wow. And, how many people in the focus group did it take to come up with that title?
Let me say half a person, Nick. Say half a person.
One half of one person. It's almost like the Alien series. It's like, what are you going to call your sequel? I'm going to call it Aliens because there's more than one. I don't know. I mean,
yeah, I wish it. Man, I don't know. I'm just praying that's not the final name that they stick with. So I'm trying to hold out faith of jumping on the name. I'm hoping it's something they threw out there and they see all the backlash and they go back and they work and change the name. I don't know how they came up with that.
Well, I'll say this. There's been a lot of laziness in sequel titles. We used to understand sequels. You always had, something part 2, part 3, part 4. It was easy for us to understand. And then they started getting into like Revelation, Resurrection, Rises. I mean, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Batman, The Dark Knight Rises, or just the in front of it. Wolverine, the Wolverine. Oh, what are we going to make the next title? And it's like, I remember back to Cinemassacre days of you're chronologically confused. Which one came first? I don't remember. Sorry. I just am like, we as Kaiju fans always are like, someone says, did you see Godzilla? Yeah. Which one? Godzilla. I know. Which one? What year did it come out? Because we know which one. There's a ton of movies with that same title, but you're gonna have to tell me a little bit more. The one with Godzilla in it. You're killing me. So it's kind of like in this case of Godzilla and Kong. Okay, what can we determine might be happening here with this kind of a title? I guess we're talking team up, maybe.
Maybe they don't want to give us just too much at all. Maybe they just want to be like super bland and say, we're just going to throw it out there. Here you go, Godzilla Kong.
I know.
And let us all speculate. I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, it has to be another team up movie. This is not Mega Godzilla again. Please God, let him stay dead. Let him fight somebody else. Maybe even like we kind of thought was gonna happen, Godzilla versus Kong. Bring out Mega King Ghidorah, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Monsterverse.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of foe they have to go up against here. I was we all kind of knew going into Godzilla versus Kong, we're going to get probably Mechagodzilla in some form or another. And then, expectations met. They're going to do the what was it? Batman v Superman thing where they're going to team up. They're going to start as rivals and they're going to team up. So in this one, have you guys seen those memes out there already of like it's a Godzilla and Kong like romantic comedy?
Oh yeah.
Love it.
Man.
The internet wastes no time.
Right.
The internet is I will say the internet is undefeated.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. I guess if anything, I'm kind of expecting to see some sort of like maybe them versus humanity kind of thing. I don't know.
I would love that, honestly.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, that'll be really, really cool. That never crossed my mind.
Well, and I was kind of wondering, it's like we've already kind of had Godzilla as somewhat of the hero through the Monsterverse. Maybe at this point they're both going to turn on us. I don't know. I mean, there's always the chance for an alien monster to come in like Ghidra did, essentially. Bobby Reynolds is saying he'd love to see a War of the Monsters movie based off of the game. I would love to see my boy Togura kicking butts, taking names. Okay, sure, why not? It's like I would like to see something original. There's been a lot of things that are just kind of rehashed and remade, and it's like some of that's cool, some of it's like you're doing a little tribute to what fan service. But there's also the fact that if you could do something original, I'll respect you a lot more because you really took some effort into putting thought into the writing, to the casting, to twisting up the story a bit here. That's what I love about I'll take it, the Dark Knight trilogy. It had a lot of unexpected twists and turns to it. Say what you will about that trilogy, it was amazing, I felt. And he's going to fight the Joker, but it's like in the Dark Knight film, but you didn't know how it was going to go, and it wasn't as predictable.
Nothing like I expected.
Not at all. Yeah, and I think those are the kinds of films that really last the test of time. They leave an impact. And do you think we're going to see guys in any of the human characters in the Monsterverse come back up in this next film?
If any is going to come up, I would think an obvious maybe would be Gia. Just for her connections with Kong. But the Monsterverse to me has been kind of inconsistent with the human character. So with the human characters, I kind of don't know who or what to expect. But Gia for sure, I think she'll definitely be in this film.
Yeah. Do we think maybe we'll see Kyle Chandler's character again? Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember his name actually, and I know it was Russell. Was Matterson Russell. Anyways, we might.
Mark Russell.
Mark Russell.
Okay.
Yeah. That we might see him again if he's interested in another role like that. It was kind of a minimal role that he had in GVK, but it was cool to see him again anyways, even as little as we did see him. I kind of tend that we to think that we might not see characters from the 2014 film, like Aaron Taylor Johnson, reprising a role, but that might be cool. I don't know. Bring it all full circle, bring him back somehow.
Yeah.
As long as they give him more character, because we know how 2014 was.
That's right. he needed he needed something more than just yeah. Yeah, I'm a bomb expert. Okay, what else do you got? I know bombs. I volunteer for the next mission. All right. Don't you have a family or something? I have a family. They're in the city.
Yeah. I ain't volunteering for nothing. I'm sorry. sorry. We got to get out of here. I am sorry. I'm aboard mission. Y'all got to keep me out the military. I'm going AWOL.
He was the first to volunteer for everything. So
I can do it, guys.
Man.
I can do it. What we know? I don't know what we're doing. All right, bet I do. Let's go.
Do the Halo jump? Sure. All chance of survival.
They would have had to push me out there. Ain't no way.
Nah, I ain't jumping out that point either. I'm good.
But it'll look so cool.
Yeah, you start seeing Godzilla landing right by him, and he
Nah, I'm good.
Well, so they got some time to work on Godzilla and Kong, or the next Monsterverse film. I guess in between we might get the Apple TV series if that hasn't been canceled by now. It's kind of flown under the radar a bit, with all these announcements.
Real quiet, really quiet.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they're in development still. There's been a lot of shows that
I did see some news on it. Maybe the other day. I'm not sure how true it is, but I think Gareth Edwards is supposed to produce the
last two episodes.
Two episodes of it. So I did see that. I think it was yesterday actually. So that'll be pretty cool. Bring him back in.
I love it because no matter how much I talk bad about the human characters in that movie, I really did like how he made Godzilla feel in a sense. So I'm excited to see him come back.
Yeah, that's one of my biggest reasons for liking the 2014. I felt like the way he made Godzilla feel, I felt like it was a perfect start to jumpstart the Monsterverse.
Yeah.
So I thought he did a really, really good job. And, people got to kind of fully understand Godzilla. And then we got more of them in King of the Monsters. So I really love what he did in 2014.
Oh yeah, and I actually really like his style. I think I love Rogue One. Actually, his style of directing. I love Monsters 2010. Yeah, excellent director. So yeah, to see him come back to the Monsterverse would be awesome to see. And so putting that aside, we're going to get into some more Godzilla and Gamera here in a minute. We did have this month the unfortunate passing, and I've got a show actually dedicated to him coming up December 4th with some guests. Kazuki Omori, director of most of the Heisei series, so Biollante,
Destroy
Space Godzilla, Mechagodzilla 2. I think he skipped Godzilla and Mothra, The Battle for Earth.
They produced that one, no? I
believe he was part of it.
He was part of it, but he didn't direct that one.
Yeah, but not the director. But anyways, director of majority of the Heisei series, but quite the loss that we've taken. Happening, of course, right now in the middle of November for our, Godzilla month here. But, he will be missed, and looking forward to having some discussion with some guys talking about his life, his career, the impact that he left, because it definitely did leave an impact on me too, because I think of the fact that the Heisei series, when I was growing up in the 90s, it was out there. I was hearing about it, but was not getting, tapes, anything like that, because they just weren't coming across the big pond for us to see. But I saw a toy out there that was this Mecha King Ghidorah, and it's like, oh, that's amazing. When am I going to see this movie? And it was like we had to wait until the advent of DVD. They finally started coming across. So, but definitely an impact that he left. But at least we had Biollante over here during that time to see. Godzilla fan freaks, Everett's in the house.
Everett, what's up, man?
Right, yeah, and Everett had a great show earlier with his Kaiju Chill O'Clock. Several shows. He does his show on both YouTube and on Facebook. So Everett, good.
Yeah, sometimes if you're on Instagram, I try to catch him, but I'll be at work, so it's hard for me to kind of see it, then go, then come back. So
every got them working hours.
I try to chime in between, working, doing things here and there at the office. But yeah, Everett, good to have you in. And your guests today were awesome to talk to. A blast from the past, Jim Jenkins. So talking some G-Fest and just talking collecting and all of that. So with the newest Godzilla 2023 film that was announced, I'm going to bring up a screen here. So far, what do we know about the very little that we do know about this Godzilla 2023 film? Any of you guys, what do we know so far other than we got a logo?
The only thing that we know about this film so far, because I was actually watching the announcement during Godzilla Day. The only thing we know is that it's post-war Japan. That's it. It's the only thing we know. We don't know nothing else.
That's right. Yeah, we've got the logo, and we got a date.
That's a cool logo. I love that logo.
I think that logo too.
Yeah, and doesn't it kind of remind you of this whole, like when they release a logo, there's just a little bit of mystery of what's going to go on. It's not telling us too much, and which is what I loved about what Shin Godzilla did. They released, like, what was that? The footprint or a foot, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, that's cool. Leave it at that. Leave it a mystery for us. You know, we don't want to know too much going into this, but this really cool look for the G. There's something this reminds me of. Did you guys ever see that movie Arrival?
Yes.
Yeah, with the aliens.
Yep. I've seen that. Yep, Arrival. Yes.
Yeah, and they communicated with like their ink blots, looked like squid.
Oh,
ink
yeah.
And it made a symbol similar to what we've got here kind of going on, you know, and it was like, you know, in this case, we're actually getting an English letter, but you know, this is cool. Actually, I'm very interested in seeing, you know, where we're going to go with this. I've heard a rumor anyways, that maybe the title is going to be Godzilla Zero. You know, that could be an interesting title.
I mean, I like the title. I mean, I like it, especially with it being post-war Japan, right?
Yep.
So with them, you know, coming back, reinventing, recreating, I really, I would enjoy the title. I mean, I don't think it's bad. What I will say is with this film, I'm not going into this film with any expectations, if that makes sense, because I don't like comparing films, because if I compare a Godzilla film to this one, it's going to mess up how I really feel about a film. Because I'll say, this new film didn't do what this previous film did, or this new film didn't have, you know, what this older film had that made me love it. So I'm going in with just a fresh start, a fresh mind on how this film is going to be. And another thing I'm just curious about, you know, the look of, you know, Godzilla. You know, is the movie going to be about just him, like it was in 84, 85, or is he going to have an older opponent or a newer opponent? So it's just little things like that I want to know. But I don't want to know too much, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, Donald. I mean, honestly, I don't want to know jack. Till the movie comes out. I barely want a trailer, to be honest. But I know we talked about it right after Godzilla Day. Monsters of Attitude, that I kind of do want them to take Godzilla back to its roots. I kind of want it like they did for King Kong in 2005. That's the type of film I would like, but I'm not gonna be disappointed with no matter what we get. So I'm also going in with very low expectations.
Yeah, and Everett's talking about movie predating 54. You know, or at least, as I understand it, a call for extras and a scene that's going to be period piece in the post-war Japan. So it could be merely a scene, not maybe the entire film, but it could be the entire film. And I'd be all for that. I think that's awesome, actually, to see, Godzilla smashing the buildings that he was taller than during that time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because, when it came to like Godzilla 1985, those buildings were dwarfing him for the most part, and so you're kind of like, if he smashes up smaller Japan, where like the Japanese Diet building, their Capitol building, he's much bigger than that, and I always love seeing him dwarfing it and then smashing it to bits in the original 54.
Oh, definitely.
Oh yeah.
Godzilla is definitely at his best when he's causing mayhem and destruction. So I definitely wouldn't mind it. Adrian, that was a good comparison of the 2005 King Kong film. If we got something like that, I would really love that too, because that film was centered around
a love
King
letter.
Kong.
It was just
you got to know King Kong.
Mm-hmm.
You got to like really experience him. And at times, he felt real. You actually could feel for this monster. But in the other case scenario with Godzilla, it's kind of hard to feel for somebody who causes destruction, who's knocking down buildings, But that was a great comparison, Adrian. I like that. That'll be pretty cool.
I was going to bring up the Godzilla the Ride promo, just shots from it here, because we understand, and I'm looking up his name, unless you guys remember his name, the director of Godzilla the Ride.
What's his name? Oh my God.
Yeah.
I know it too.
I'm terrible with names, so I can't help you guys. So.
Yeah. Anyways, anyone in the chat want to chime it in? But he was also the director of Always Sunset on 3rd Street, Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
And Always Sunset on 3rd Street. Anyways, in the dream sequence, of course, where we got, a Godzilla cameo, Takashi Yamazaki.
There you go, Takashi Yamazaki.
Yes. And so he was the director of that film, Godzilla the Ride. Visual effects here for that.
Yeah, that shot is awesome, dude. Like, that is the perfect look for Godzilla. That's awesome.
It really is.
That is awesome.
Oh yeah, and the fact that that is very similar to the, not exactly, but very similar to the Godzilla and Always Sunset on 3rd Street, and it was since he is a kaiju fan himself. And doesn't come from necessarily the background of kaiju films, more dramatic films.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's maybe a much needed thing. It's, we could get a visual effects director, and that's all well and good. But, getting someone who could actually do something with drama and human characters and all of this. So here we got our scene, that dream sequence that, for a while, people may have been looking at this and saying, "Oh, wow, the Godzilla sequel is coming up." But I think this was way back in 2006.
Yeah, 2006, 2007. It was back then.
Yeah,
I want to say 06.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, but pretty crazy dream sequence here, and just again, it's like I haven't seen this film. I don't know if anyone has seen this film, but I just know that the tone of what else I've seen from this film, it seems very out of place for me, but it's like, does this really belong? And is there a good reason? It's almost tongue-in-cheek comedic, but maybe that's the tone of that film. I just, without seeing it, I don't know. Love this dude's hair.
Let's take over the world here, right there.
Oh yeah. Well, he's like the Giorgio Tsoukalos in Alien. What is it? Ancient Aliens. Aliens. And stuck his finger in a light socket here, but that look to Godzilla, pretty cool CGI look to him there. Mean face.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's the look or a similar look I want him to have.
Yeah, so I'd be fine with that too.
I would be really, really happy with that.
Maybe a little bit updated to 2020, but still,
right? Yeah.
And there's always something about the fact that if Godzilla ever targets you, if he ever actually looks down directly at you, there's nothing more scary in the world than to think that a kaiju is actually targeting you. For the most part, if you just aren't in Godzilla's path, you could probably get away. But if he actually is looking for you, if he actually is,
it's over.
Yeah,
I'm fighting on the spot. I'm gone.
Yeah, if you're just the ants that he's walking over the top of, and you don't care about, the small little ants that you're trampling, that'd be one thing. But if he actually does target you, that's where it really comes down.
Like the ride clip that you just showed us, like when he emerged from the smoke and they was all, what they're going to do if he really wanted them, like,
it's over.
That is the most scariest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Had nightmares about this very sequence where, Godzilla is actually looking for me, and there's nothing you can do to. That was one thing that Jurassic Park, the T-Rex, because if you did get caught by the T-Rex, if you did get his eye, he's after you. You're done. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's over. Yeah. it's over.
So yeah, I'm real excited about this, and to get another Japanese Godzilla film in between the Legendary series. And you know, Shin Godzilla came out in between Legendary films as well, and that was just adding to what we all love, is that we're getting Godzilla, we're getting giant kaiju films being released, and the content is fresh and cool, and you know, it's and it's taking different directions, where Shin Godzilla definitely took a very different direction. Not many can argue with that.
Yeah.
But very excited about this. I think the title, the Godzilla Zero, you know, that'd be kind of interesting, you know, because it's not the typical sequel titling conventions, you know, it's not whatever, or it's not Rising, or I'm trying to think of all the different they could have called it The Godzilla, you know.
I will say this, Godzilla Zero, to me, it just sounds like more of a fresh start. Like we're really about to understand Godzilla from the beginning and beyond. That's how it comes off, you know, to me. And so, I mean, I would be pretty, you know, cool with that. And like you said, Nick, there's no Godzilla Rises, Godzilla Returns Again, or, you know, Godzilla Returns, or Godzilla is back. So, you know, getting something new is pretty cool. So I can dig that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, and you know, there's so many times that Godzilla has been rebooted. Does canon really matter to us as kaiju fans?
No.
And maybe that's the strongest suit, right? That's the strongest thing that we have going for us. Star Wars fans, they got to stick with canon, you know?
Oh, Lord have mercy. Yes.
You know, Star Trek, Star Wars, all the other kind of canon that's out there. But Godzilla has been remade so many times and given fresh looks. I'm also a fan of Master of the Universe, and it's like there's lots of different generations of that. Marvel has done that too with their multiverse, anyways, the multi-dimensional kind of aspect of this. Well, it's like that's Spider-Man, but that's Spider-Man in a different dimension. Don't worry too much about that. Or it's like, you know,
that really confused me. I'm like, we watching Spider-Man 30, 31 come. I'm like, it's too many Spider-Man.
I need a diagram, right?
Yeah, it's like it's hard for me to process it.
Oh yeah, I know, but it's like, yeah, that's kind of the idea. And it's like when someone says, you know, why couldn't they name a character this way? Why don't they just call up this whatever character? And it's like, yeah, that character is owned by a different you know, studio or a different franchise or whatever. So I always thought it was funny in the Lord of the Rings, you know, in the Hobbit. Gandalf, you know, he's answering the question about the wizards, and like, one's Sauron.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, I'm the other one, and then there's Radagast. The others, I can't remember their names. It's like, because but because we didn't have the rights to those names, that's all you're gonna get. So hey, that worked without it being, you know, without it being in your face. That's how they kind of resolve that. So in the case of Godzilla, yeah, we don't have necessarily that to look forward to. But the one thing that we do have, at least in kaiju history, is all of the different monsters that he has fought with, teamed up with, and all of that. And I guess going into, you know, a new Godzilla, would we hope or expect to see another monster that's familiar? A solo Godzilla versus humanity, like Shin Godzilla, like the original, or a team up, you know, a team up or a versus, I guess, you know, is what it comes down to. What is our kind of expectations going into this?
Yeah, I will say, like I said, I want to try to keep my expectations to a minimum. But my biggest thing would be just based off of what we've heard, post-war Japan, I'm getting the feel that this movie is going to be just strictly Godzilla. Now, of course, I could be wrong because it's just, you know, speculation at this point. But I really do. I feel like that'd be a great way to kick this off. But hey, I'm no director or anything like that, so but it would be pretty cool to start off that way. But if he did end up encountering a monster, I would take a chance on seeing a new monster, and see how that goes.
Like an original new monster.
Yeah. Yep.
What do you think, Adrian? Another monster, a familiar one, new one?
I'm completely biased. Well, almost all my favorite Godzilla movies they're all my top 10. They're gonna be Godzilla solo movies.
Mm-hmm.
To me, there's nothing more truer to Godzilla than Godzilla going against humanity, especially since, not to get super deep, but since we're the ones that created the monster, we should have to deal with the monster. So always being able to see a solo Godzilla film is chef's kiss to me. I love watching solo Godzilla movies, and if it is going to be Godzilla Zero, or it's going to take place post-war Japan, let's see Godzilla's origins. Let's see where he came from, let's see what we actually created and how we did it.
Yeah, origin story, absolutely. Yeah. And what that would be cool to see, the fact that in a period piece like that, you have the limitations, but the creative license to say the weapons during that time aren't what you're used to. We're not going to be able to come up with a Super X or a Maser cannon. We've got to deal with old-fashioned cannons and rockets, and the development of the nuclear bomb is brand new at that time. And beyond the fact that you don't want to use that on Godzilla anyways, because he eats that for breakfast. But
and also you got to deal with the round table discussions. I would like to see something similar to that we saw in 54. Like, look, we got to figure out a way. Even Shin, like, we have to figure out a way how to stop
deal with this.
It's hard to stop something that can't be stopped. So everybody getting together with an organized plan, trying to figure out what's their best weapons, what's their best approach and plan to stop him. That would be really cool to see. So a solo film, man, that would really be awesome to kick this thing off.
Some of my favorite scenes were in the 54 on Odo Island with the village.
Goodness.
Yeah, old timber, homes. That you got nothing in between you and him, no concrete in between you and him. It's pretty much toothpicks that's holding your structure together. And the fact that you had not even a really good scene or shot of Godzilla trampling through that made it even better. Very little that you did see of him, but the waves crashing, the thunder and lightning, the rain, the wind, and all of that atmosphere is so cool, and it does draw something out from within you. They could do something stylistically in black and white, but I think that would be a mistake. I feel like they should do this in color. But
most definitely.
Yeah, but at the same time, maybe some homages, maybe some scenes in black and white. That might be cool for flashbacks. I don't know. I guess I always just think, if you draw some of that out from your audience and they're really engaged into it, because it takes them back to the 54 film, or takes them back to, and maybe, who knows, if they're going to throw another monster in there, maybe one he hasn't fought. My vote's for Varan. So because
that'll be cool.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about Varan also, and they probably could tie it. They could even tie it into how like both of them got made by the same nuclear bomb somehow too. If they do Varan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's a pretty good idea. Yeah, I like that. I like that, Adrian. That's a pretty good idea. Yeah,
and actually, an idea that John Ruffin had too. He brought it up during their show. Maybe we can see the ritual when that happened on Oda Island that the old man was talking about in Gojira, when they when they were sacrificing the girl to Godzilla to please him and things like that. Maybe we can get more into that, deeper into that legacy also, maybe, and have that better explained as well.
Yeah, now that would be cool. That would be super cool.
That would be cool.
It definitely takes you back to what would be considered like a simpler time, and that idea that that somebody might believe that this actually would work. We're gonna send this. I think it was like a young girl, a young virgin, or something.
Yeah, like a young virgin. Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't
very.
send me nowhere.
And it's like, would Godzilla, does he really want to eat a young virgin or anything? Does he need to eat a human at all? I mean, for that matter. So who knows? But that kind of idea that they revere him as a mythological creature versus a product of science, which Godzilla has been both of those. He's a product of the nuclear fallout, but he's also been this mythological, very GMK. They were mythological gods, all dueling it out, battling it out. So that's very cool to speculate. And who knows? Maybe they'll go Godzilla raids again and put Angulus in there, and they can duke it out into an old village. And
he's been missing too.
Oh yeah. Angulus, definitely need to get some Angulus at some point in a CGI, big sort of way. Not like Final Wars.
No, not like Final Wars.
No kicking Angulus around like a soccer ball.
Nah.
Oh man.
Nah.
Woo, yeah. Wow. So, any more on Godzilla 2023 expectations, hopes, anything we've heard?
I actually didn't touch on any of the human characters, so I wonder who they'll have, in the lineup for that. I'm curious to see what roles, some of the human characters will have, who will be like the leading, actor or actress in this film. So, and I wonder, because, the humans, have to have a story as well. So I always wonder how their story is going to take place or shape up. Because normally when we're watching a film called Godzilla, we want to see, Godzilla. And so it touches on something that you was talking about, Nick, when you're talking about the scenery of films. I'm big on scenery as well. Like, I love sceneries in films. And so with that being said, I feel like just getting the right characters in place to fill those voids would be great. So I'm curious to see if we have a good human element. Doesn't have to be a perfect story, but just something that'll keep me interested in the film, not getting bored, waiting to see Godzilla or whoever to get excited. Like, I just want to stay in tune with the film and just continue to watch it. So can't wait to see who they'll have as the human characters in this film.
It's funny that we haven't had a good Dr. Yamane sort of recreated.
We have not.
The sympathetic scientist. We had that Ken Watanabe, Dr. Serizawa in the Legendary films, which I felt like that was the wrong name to give him. Should have been Yamane. But, whatever. Serizawa was more known, but he's not going to kill Godzilla. He's not developing a weapon to kill Godzilla. If they were to go with a true Serizawa film, the man who's tortured by the fact that he's got this knowledge and this weapon that's so destructive, okay, cool, go with that. But yeah, maybe a recreation of Yamane in a sense, because that was the role that really, was like, as a non-scientist, you're kind of like, are you serious? He needs to be studied and all of this. He doesn't need to be destroyed. No, he does need to be destroyed. But yet the story of 54 tries to revolve around this idea that he is also dealing with this idea that he's that Godzilla is an innocent creature. And then at the end of the film, it does make sense to you that, what Yamane was trying to get across to people, that he is an innocent creature. He's the results of our sins kind of coming back at us. And I think that was, the human character story that, came full arc in that. But we'll see. Maybe they can come up with another cool set of characters. So you can have the fisherman Ogata, you can have Emiko, the daughter of the scientist, and then your scientist character in there too. Maybe you get a reporter and we'll call him Steve Martin. I don't know.
Yeah, and honestly, we kind of need that, because I know I kind of brought it up too on my last show that Shin Godzilla really divided the fan base. You either love Shin Godzilla or you hate Shin Godzilla. And the Monsterverse, I know most of us have always complained about the human stories. So I really hope that we do get a really concrete, good human story for this Godzilla movie, because I don't mind it. I definitely like the story in Shin Godzilla, especially when it was explained to me. But I do want a story for Godzilla where everybody's able to come together and enjoy the movie as a whole for the human element of it as well as the Godzilla aspect of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I'm still waiting on that docudrama, that I have in my mind that there needs to be a Godzilla movie sometime out there that actually does a sort of docudrama series on Ishiro Honda, Eiji Tsuburaya, Tomoyuki Tanaka, have Asian actors playing these characters as a film, kind of like when you see, films, like Bohemian Rhapsody and things, taking us back into a moment of history and having actors portray these roles of real people who have existed in this world and recreating that, coming up with the challenges of what it takes to make a Godzilla film, and even go into a dream sequence where they're actually dreaming up what these scenes look like, and literally make it a horror film at that point, a giant monster film in their dream. I think that would be
that'll be cool. I can dig that. I like that.
Unexpected. Yeah, throw a curveball. But yeah, again, that's just what I'm hoping for. We'll get into Gamera here, because Gamera has been something that we've been waiting patiently on for, I mean, goodness, what has it been since Gamera the Brave 2005, 2006?
It's way back there though.
Yeah, way too long. 14, 15, 16 years.
20 years almost without Gamera?
Oh yeah, way too long. But yeah, here we are, the giant turtle.
16 years exactly.
16 years, okay.
Yeah. Time to get Gamera back in, and we had a great Heisei series. We had, Gamera the Brave, which I enjoyed, and a lot of fans do enjoy. Some divided on that, but it was a good standalone Gamera film, not to be tied in with any other film that's out there. But time to get this now. Good, bad, or indifferent. The fact that it's going to be an anime.
Indifferent. As long as we're getting Gamera back, is all I care about.
I mean, we're getting Gamera. Like Adrian said, that's all that I care about. But I will actually say this. I will say, starting with an anime, I think is really, really cool, right? Really, really unique, because I think we have so many anime fans, nowadays. It's easy for us to connect with anime, on social media, through our family, through our friends. And I think this is a good reinvention of Gamera. Let's start with him on this Netflix series. And, if it goes well, preferably it goes really, really well, which I think it will, then let's transition him, back into the movies. And so I think this is a great opportunity for Gamera to really show and connect with people across the world. I actually told my auntie, it's funny because she picked my kids up today, and I told her about the Gamera series, and she was excited about it. I said, hey, Gamera's got a new series coming out, and my auntie's no anime fan, but she's like, I don't care. Gamera's back. She's like, he's been missing for years. I'm like, I know. So, but I'm glad he's back.
Yeah, I am too. And with Gamera's mythos, it would fit perfectly in anime. Kind of, we was all excited with single point things like that, but Gamera's villains fits anime. Him being the and that depends if they go with him being the savior of all children. If they go that route, if they go more towards the Heisei Gamera route, even though he still kind of protected children there too, he just wasn't as wide open about it. And kind of like how they did with Gamera the Brave, using that element can really lend itself very well in anime. And I think that'd be incredible. They can maybe take some cues from maybe Digimon and probably Singular Point, kind of try and combine those together somehow. And Gamera could probably be an incredible anime series with the right people behind it.
You kind of wonder that the fact that it is an anime series and not tokusatsu, not a live action with CGI special effects, that maybe they're testing the waters a little bit with try it in this animated form, see what happens, see if it takes off, and maybe we'll get ourselves a live action, Gamera film at some point, or just a speculation out there. Not saying anything. And the fact that it is anime, we've had this, we've been through this before when we were disappointed by Godzilla anime in one case, and maybe mixed on another. But as far as this, going to Netflix and all, and Netflix has been hit or miss, a lot of misses, but that I think they're really trying to reach a new audience here, and they're definitely going to reach a new audience with this, with this series out there. So I'm kind of curious where it's going to go to with that. And human characters are definitely important. I can see this one definitely appealing to children and adults, the young at heart like us, who grew up with it. And I think they've got an interesting color scheme. The legendary Godzilla, I always think of legendary Godzilla with blues, and Gamera here, with the green colors and all of that.
That's perfect for Gamera. I love it.
I love it.
Oh yeah, this should be interesting, and we've only got a teaser so far. Yeah, I think that's a good way to start. Don't give us too much.
Exactly. Yeah, don't give us too much.
Because we don't want to spoil it, but I imagine getting closer. And I guess did we hear, maybe it's in this trailer, it's called obviously Rebirth. Did we get a date of when this is coming out?
I don't think so.
I haven't seen a date. I just got so excited. I saw Gamera. I didn't check for a date. I just saw Gamera Rebirth. I'm like, all right, cool. So when is it coming out?
I know, yeah. It's like, how long do I have to wait, right? We'll just wait and see for the announcements. I mean, we're getting enough announcements out there. Sometimes it's hard to weed through it all, but and this title's not too bad.
I love that. Gamera, he's been missing for a while, so I mean, there's no other name to really, hey, Gamera Rebirth, letting everybody know, hey, he's back.
Yep.
And I mean, I'm ready for it. I can't wait to see this, man. I'm telling you, this is gonna be awesome.
It is gonna be awesome.
Oh yeah, definitely. The world needs Gamera now, and again, exciting time to be a kaiju fan. And,
yes, it is.
Yeah, a lot of stuff coming out, and that's where I think the fact that I feel like Marvel, it had its stride, but I think at this point it's getting to the point where it's it's becoming formulaic, and it's like we need something else. We need to switch things up and go with something that hasn't been around for a while. And I, haven't seen that Legendary has been slowing down with their Monsterverse, and I didn't see any of the films flop. So I feel like, they've got something here. They've got, the data from giant monster movies doing well. I'd say Pacific Rim, unfortunately, didn't do as well, in 2013, did well worldwide. But in 2013, it was up against a pretty good competition during that time for everyone's attention. And I don't think people knew what to think of it going into it. But as time has gone along and people have been warming up to more tokusatsu film, not tokusatsu, kaiju films, that maybe I'd love to see tokusatsu again. Sure. Yeah, let's get some suits.
I will say this about the DC and the Marvel universes. I don't think that Toho and Godzilla get their credit, because I personally think they started the crossover genres and the universes.
Oh yeah, of course they did.
But they bypassed my boy, and they act like he wasn't the first to do it. But I definitely think, like you said, Nick, these monsters really have something going. I mean, we still got the Kong anime.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're getting a Gamera anime. We may get a second season of Singular Point. We got Godzilla coming in 2023, and so we have all these monster films just popping up. I had a chance to watch the Troll trailer finally yesterday.
I can't wait to watch that.
Yeah. Ooh. So that's gonna be awesome. So I think this monster genre, man, they're really onto something. And I am really, really proud because I am a big Kaiju fan. So I love this news. I'm eating it up. So I couldn't be more happier.
And I don't think any of us have had the chance to see Shin Ultraman, but we know it's out there, obviously.
Yes.
Actually, I just shared today. It's coming to U.S. theaters in January.
Excellent. Good.
Yeah, well, it won't come to mine because we sorry down here. I'm not gonna hold my breath.
This flight to Texas, Donald. That's it. I got room for you. You good?
Okay.
Yeah, Fathom Events might be doing that, so that would be awesome because it's been tough for us to get out there to New York or Chicago or LA or anything like this where they're actually showing Shin Ultraman, but it's out there too, and I haven't heard of any bad reviews really so far. So bring on the Monsterverse through whatever means we can. And along with all the other announcements, we had some short
into the ballerina music,
the piano,
yeah. But this was Gigan because I love Gigan. I love the Space Chicken. So anytime I see him on the screen, I instantly become a fan. But this was a really, really cool, well put together short film. Not a lot of time, but it definitely captured my attention. And like you said, Nick, I can watch this over and over and over again because and then it's the scenery for me, the background, the city, that is everything. Like the lighting is everything for me. So I was definitely a fan of this short film.
And actually, the story behind the short film is a fan-made film that Toho picked up and gave him the money to finish the film out. So that's always been the most interesting thing about Godzilla vs. Gigan Rex to me, and that's why I really enjoy it because another Godzilla fan like us made this, and Toho actually backed them up to get it finished. So every time I watch it, I always remember that. Okay, yeah, a fan made this. This is absolutely incredible for one of us to make this, and for Toho to give them the opportunity to be able to finish it is even more incredible. Now it's officially a Toho product. So I think that's the most amazing part about it all. That and we have Junior back, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny they like you said, it's a fan that made this, that it's nothing personal, but Toho typically does not interact with the fans directly. It's always through other means. And the fact that they took note of what a fan did create and, backed it up. And I think that's really cool. That's definitely a change for their kind of habits when it comes to Toho. So yeah, and to see Junior come back, I love that shot. It's one when I showed this to my kids, I was like, okay, don't you remember ending of Godzilla vs. Destroyer? Remember that shot?
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, we finally got to see what happened to Junior after that epic shot. And yeah, he lived on to take on all the Gigans single-handedly.
I was like, get him, Godzilla.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that they got the actor from Mickey to come back, that touched my soul. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was cool. That was pretty cool.
We're going to start wrapping up here, actually, gentlemen. There was some other drops, actually, in collectibles that had happened during this month, and especially on Godzilla Day. And don't know if any of you guys had the chance to pre-order or look at them and just, like me, drool over them because it's like, I can spend all kinds of money, but it's like sometimes I got to be like, whoa, wait a second, But was there any of the collectible drops that happened out there that particularly were interesting to you guys?
So honestly, I didn't see any of the drops from Godzilla Day. Actually, I didn't see any of the toys because I didn't chime in to the day afterwards. So I was only able to see posts here and there. But I will say, Nick, just some advice: just stay away from Monsters with Attitude. Because, dude, look. I love Adrian like a brother. His team is awesome. His team is special, man. But geez, they have a unboxing every day, and look, and it's so incredible. It's like it's somebody different just every day. And they have the best collectibles I've seen, man. And it's so hard for me. I have to sit through the agony and watch. Like I got like 2 or 3 toys over here. I see them unboxing every day, dude. I mean, it's amazing. It is amazing. But I didn't see any other new toys, any other new figures. So I'm wondering what they have out there. I need to check it out actually.
Adrian, did you bite on any of those drops that happened?
Yes.
No,
you did.
Yes, I did not. There is one thing. Two things I might go after. One is weird. The little the Godzilla calendar, because I need a 2023 calendar. I haven't had a Godzilla calendar, so I'm gonna get that. And I might get the new Bandai 1984 Godzilla. I might get that.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that one.
I kind of have to. I mean, it's only my favorite film, but.
Right, yeah, 84 for life, and it's very similar to that memorial box. And if you didn't get the chance to get that memorial box, it's a pretty affordable, option for you. And I even got one way after the memorial box, and still paid quite a bit for it because, again, like you said, it's our favorite film. We gotta take home a piece of 1984, right? So if it's got 84, 85 on it, we gotta own it. But it's like, yeah, that one. Definitely a must. Super 7, this was before Godzilla Day. They had released the 2000 whatever degree version of the Meltdown
Destroyer.
Yeah, from Destroyer, the Meltdown version of Godzilla and Destroyer. And so my family actually did pre-order me that one because it was my birthday. That was close to when they dropped that one. But recently, Mezco did drop the and I think it was actually earlier today, maybe, was the Mechagodzilla 74 set. So yeah, that's gonna be cool to see. Mondo had some drops actually as well. They had a that was the Tokyo SOS statue for only $585. Only
$585.
And it's Mondo, so you know it's going to sell out. Oh man,
yeah. I had to pass on that. Even though I do like Tokyo SOS, I don't love Tokyo SOS, and I don't love paying almost $600 when I can buy a gigantic for that price. So I will not be getting
that. Somebody at MWA will.
Yeah, someone's gonna bite the bullet. I don't know who, but someone's gonna bite the bullet.
Thomas, Eric, somebody.
I did end up getting gonna get this Super 7. Now, unfortunately, with Super 7, you gotta wait a while. And
I've noticed that.
Ooh, that is awesome.
Yeah, it's nasty.
I'm trying to remember the other pre-order I had with Super 7 because I'm still waiting on it. What was that one?
Biollante, guys, 89 in Biollante probably.
That's right.
I ain't got my Biollante yet either.
I know. It's like, you took my money. It's gonna show up one day. It's gonna show up one day, and oh yeah, that's right, I did pre-order that one, and I don't pre-order a whole lot, so it's gonna be a little bit of a surprise. But yeah, they had that, and I think they even had another one a while ago. But Super 7, okay, you got your Godzilla license. Start getting these figures out there. But Mezco, yeah, they've got some things, and then there was that Mondo, and I'm sure there's more out there that I'm missing, but didn't get any. Well, actually, today I think or recently we got the Gamera Tamashii Nations Gamera Revenge of Iris set that came out. I believe that was Tamashii Nations, wasn't it, or was it Bandai?
I want to say Bandai, Nick.
Maybe it was, but
I want to say Bandai.
Yeah, I think it was Bandai.
Okay, yeah, which I already have those older Bandais, but that's cool to see re-releases of that too. Got a Gamera and an Iris. Anytime that you can get Gamera. I don't have a whole lot of Gamera collectibles, but one of my first Gamera collectibles, since we're talking Gamera, he doesn't show up much because he's green, but he's got this rolly kind of thing going on.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
It's really kind of bizarre looking. Yeah,
remind me of the cars. You just roll back and.
Yep.
And I don't even remember where I got him, but he's a cool looking Gamera. But yeah, started getting more and more of the Gameras. Got the Defo Reel with the Attack of Legion one too. That was a cool video I did with my daughter actually. So, but yeah, there's more and more coming out, and of course, we can burn a hole in our wallets as we're going through this. But at least we're also getting films. We're getting content. So
yeah, because at the end of the day, without the films, we wouldn't have the collectibles. So always gotta go back to the films.
Yep. That gives us, more and more IP to ingest and to love and to just start, enjoying again. So, gentlemen, thank you so much for this. This has been an awesome show. Been a lot of fun. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys have got coming next on your channel. So I want to give you guys the chance to shamelessly plug away at your channels out there. Train 1090 and Sci-Fi Nerds. So tell us where we can find you, social outlets, all of that.
Okay, I am like 1/3, 1/4, or maybe 1/5 of the Sci-Fi Nerds, but but you can find the Sci-Fi Nerds on YouTube. All you have to do is type in sci- and you put Sci-Fi Nerds, and we will come up. We also have a Facebook group. You can also find us under the same name, Sci-Fi Nerds. And if you want to find us on Instagram, that'll be sci-fi_nerds, and we'll pop up there. But maybe our next video, I think we're going to do the movie review. We canceled it previously Thursday because now everybody's got so much that they're doing. And so we're going to do the movie review on Venom next week. And so that should be a pretty cool discussion. And I got a lot of, I hope nobody's from my campus watching this part right now, because I got a lot of things I've been working on for them behind the scenes that is going to be really, really cool. I got to share a few of the projects with my wife. And so that's what we have coming.
All right. Awesome.
Okay. Where do I start today? So for Monsters with Attitude, you can find us on YouTube, and basically my same crew that runs Monsters with Attitude. We also run Kaiju Collectors on Facebook. So for Monsters with Attitude tomorrow, we're going to be talking about the 50 and 60 show of music. The show's going to be called Show of Melodies. I'm really excited about that because as much as I can talk about the movies all day, I can talk about the music just as much.
That was a cool name, Adrian. I like that. Show of Melody. That's dope, brother. I like that.
Thank you. As I love talking about Godzilla music, and I don't get to do it enough. So I'm really excited. I know last year we did Heisei Harmonies. So if you haven't seen that show, that's also back in the archives. But this year we're going to tackle some of the show of music in Monsters with Attitude tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Time. And as far as my channel, Godzilla Train 1090, he's actually laying right here. If I can grab him, put my mic over. I'm working on my Dr. Cerzal review.
Yes.
This should be out in the next week, ideally. Since I have a short week next week at work, I'll be working on this review then.
That is awesome. Okay. Plenty to look forward to from both you guys' channel. So everyone out there, subscribe to Godzilla Train 1090, also Monsters with Attitude. You'll find him out there. And Donald on Sci-Fi Nerds, and he's got some great content coming out. I just love seeing your guys' content. I love seeing the freshness of it and getting different perspectives from all your guests, your Kaiju family, and your Sci-Fi Nerds, just us geeks that get the chance to collaborate and talk together about what we love, which is just this great fantasy, science fiction, horror, all of these genres that we really dig and really get into. And there's plenty out there for us to discuss. And so looking forward to seeing what content you guys have coming out. And so everyone go out there, like and subscribe to all of these guys' social outlets and on YouTube here. And for me, Nick Adam Poling, this has been another episode of the Monster Report Live. Thank you so much. Atomic blast that like button, and check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and obviously here on YouTube. And check out our merch store. It's brand new, and we're gonna have more stuff coming out.
I'm gonna check that out. I'm gonna check out that merch store.
Yeah, just launched it. So literally, you got some t-shirts. You got the kids size t-shirts too out there.
Oh,
so,
cool.
Yeah. There's all kinds of all different sizes. You can even get phone cases You can get mugs. I mean, it's like the whole world opens up. But you're supporting the Monster Report when you do that, so I appreciate that personally.
I will check that out, and it was an honor being on. Thank you for having us on, Nick.
Thank you both, gentlemen. You guys were the first I thought of when I saw all this news dropping. I was like, we got to do a show. I could do a solo show, but I love talking to other Godzilla fans, Kaiju fans, and I was like, these guys, they're gonna be an interesting one, an interesting conversation, and it's been great.
Yeah.
It's been fun. So thank you all out there for joining us on another episode of the Monster Report Live, and we will catch you on another one. We'll see ya.